Listening with a point of view. And here, the facilitator is also the leader of the group. Have you ever experienced that? You're facilitating a group, but you're also the leader in that group. Or maybe you're the supervisor of that group. So technically, the facilitator is not a neutral third party. So this can happen. All right, this can happen. And this can be a little bit challenging for the facilitator if you're also the leader of the group. But if you are, then please be reminded that another skill that you need to exercise or you need to practice is listening with a point of view. Because what we are doing here is to first and foremost involve the mindset of the person who is playing the role of the facilitator, but at the same time you have to retain the leader's mindset as well, which means that you have to be responsible for clarifying your own thinking and being able to communicate that effectively, right? Because you and different from just being a facilitator or a third party facilitator, because you're not holding any decision making with the group, right? You're helping them make a decision, but you're not part of the group. So it's a different scenario. But if you are part of that group and you're the leader of that group, then that means your opinion also matters. Your decision also matters. You are part of the decision making team. That's why you need to both have the leader's mindset and at the same time adopt the facilitator's mindset, which means that you will still care about helping the group with their best thinking, right? And wanting to support others to develop their lines of thought, like what facilitators do. So listening with a point of view actually supports the facilitator to keep both roles in balance. So how do we do this? First and foremost, you state your point of view. It's a five-step process. So as a leader or expert or staff person, or just because you're a member of the group, raise the issue about which you have an opinion and state your position. Okay, such as here's an example. Based on the increase of quality applicants in Q1, I support the idea of keeping the 5-minute listening task during the application process. Again, since you are part of the group, you're part of the decision-making people in the group, state your position. And then second is to ask for reactions. Wait for reactions or ask for their reactions, how they feel about your opinion. So here's an example. Does everyone else agree with this perspective? Or is there anyone else who have a different point of view regarding this? Right? So this is where your facilitator hat comes in, because now, aside from stating your point of view, you're now encouraging the group to be open to their own opinions, to communicate their thoughts and their ideas, even if you are the leader or even if you are part of the decision makers in the group. And the third step, or the third step, is to respond to participants' comments as a facilitator would. Okay, usually by paraphrasing or drawing people out. Always err to the side of drawing more rather than less. Again, here you are still wearing your facilitator's hat. Although, we cannot deny the fact that some people might find it hard to challenge authority, especially if you are the leader in that group. Uh, Try your best as a facilitator also to make them feel that even if I am your leader, I am still your facilitator. You can still share your opinions and your insights in this group. And then after at least 2 moves of facilitative listening, give yourself the floor to speak. Now here, you will make statements that will reflect your own perspective. Okay, so now you can ask questions, provide information, explain, advocate your cause, reason out your opinion, so on and so forth. Because again, you are still part of the group, and especially if you are the leader of the group, then you have to make the decision either for the group or with the group or with the team. And if you have to repeat steps 2 to 4, do it as needed. Okay? What we are doing here on step 4 is now you are, as a leader, you're now trying to win their yes, or get a buy-in from them. If they don't understand it, then you go back to step number 2. All right. So these are the uh, basic facilitation skills, or the number 6, which is listening with a point of view. The next basic facilitation skill is acknowledging feelings. Here, people communicate their feelings through their conduct, through their language, nonverbal cues as well, tone of voice, facial expressions, hand gestures, right? These communications would have different impact on anyone who receives them. Again, as facilitators, why is it important for us to have the skill of acknowledging feelings? Now, by identifying a feeling and naming it, a facilitator actually raises everyone's awareness. Some participants, they might not be even aware of the emotions that they have or that they are expressing during the activity. So we can use paraphrasing or drawing people out, but by using these techniques, the facilitator actually can assist the group to recognize and accept feelings of its members. Here are the steps in acknowledging feelings. So first, when a group is engaging in difficult conversation, pay attention to the emotional tone. All right. Look for cues that might indicate the presence of feeling. What are these emotional tones? Again, you can look, if you can check for different tones of voice. Are the voices getting louder? Are the voices getting more aggressive? Are the voices getting more, is the pace or the pace of the participants getting faster? Because if their voices are getting louder, if the pace is getting faster, if the tone of the voice is getting more assertive or more aggressive, then that means that emotions are already brewing, which means that as facilitators, we need to do something about it. And that is first and foremost to acknowledge the feelings. So look for cues again that might indicate the feelings, and then pose a question that names the feelings that you see or that you observe. Mind you, everyone, this is not just with the tone of the voice, all right? You can even see this in facial expressions that you've mentioned earlier, right? Maybe some are making faces. Maybe some are doing hand gestures, right? So pose a question to help the participant identify the feelings that you observe. And third is to use facilitative listening to support the people to respond to the feelings that you named. Okay, this is now when you ask the questions, would you like to expound on that? Or what made you feel this way? How did our discussion make you feel frustrated, for example? Right? So here are more concrete examples of sentences that you can use that acknowledge feelings. So again, first is to acknowledge or identify the emotion. So sounds as though you might be feeling worried. Am I right? Okay, so now there is, looks like you have some feelings about that. Are you at all frustrated? From the tone of your voice, I wonder if you're feeling confused, for example. Is this what you're feeling? You're not quite sure if the decision is going to be beneficial for you, right? Seems like this discussion is bringing up something for you. Are you feeling disappointed? So this is helping the audience or the participant help you also identify the feelings and be clear with the feelings that they are or the emotions that they are feeling. Why is this important? Why is identifying and naming the feelings important for you and for the facilitator and for the speaker or for the audience? For the audience, it gives them the sense of belongingness and sense of in a sense that the speaker or the facilitator understands where they are coming from. By being by the but if the facilitator is able to identify and name the feelings and they validate it, it helps them as well know how to manage or how to control those feelings. For the facilitator, it helps to clarify how the audience might be feeling regarding the discussion, right? Now, the third step here is important, and that's to validate. That's why we have, am I right? Is this correct? Okay. Is this validated? Can you confirm this? Right. So that's the validating part. Again, you're not at this point. You are not saying if the feeling is justified or not. You're just identifying the feelings. You're just acknowledging the feelings to build trust between you and your participant or the speaker. All right. So this skill addresses also the basic human need of uh, need for belongingness, right? Because again, the participant or the audience might feel that you understand where they are coming from.